The banking function is in the hands of the wrong people. They have made people slaves.
And this is the very best way.
It's the only way. If it weren't for Austrian economics, that book would not exist.
Can you explain why the banking system is best and really can only be done through dividend-paying whole life insurance?
Nothing else is out there like that. Money hasn't left our community in over 30 years.
Meaning you've done all the banking within your family.
No car financing, no mortgages, no nothing. They bought me 5 airplanes down through the years.
Through this concept.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the system that your kids have been using, when you pass away, their life insurance that they own on you, they're going to get the best benefit.
Sure, tax-free. Simple as simple can be.
So are you saying in the book, our greatest financial need is...
If they do what I say, they'll never see a bank in their life.
What you're about to see is never before seen footage of my conversation with R. Nelson Nash back in June 2018. I had the pleasure of meeting Nelson when I first got started in my career, and it was one of the greatest honors that I had now that he's no longer with us. This conversation that you're about to see was actually before we went into the podcast studio. People were using it at the time. I was just sitting with R. Nelson Nash, and I'm just grateful because I grabbed my phone, I hit record, we had a candid conversation, and he shared so much. Now, you're seeing a portion of that. I didn't feel like everything was appropriate to share, and there were times where we were getting up or talking to other people, but you're seeing a portion, and the reason I'm sharing this is I look back and I just had a chance to review the footage and said, you know what? I might look ridiculous, but that's not the point. This man's a legend, and I feel like our audience, especially who's grown with me since 2018, could very much benefit from seeing this man talk in real time. And he has a lot of gems in this conversation. So without further ado, enjoy this candid conversation that I had with the man himself, R. Nelson Nash.
Hello, everyone. I am here with the author of Becoming Your Own Banker, Nelson Nash. Just a little bit of overview, and we're going to actually go into the podcast studio later. But this one book, has changed my life. Totally changed the way that I thought about my life, about money. And this man right here has had a true calling from God to share this concept with the world. And I want he was kind of sharing with me how this all got started. And instead of just me listening, I wanted to get this on camera. So it's all yours.
All right, let's go then. I was in the life insurance business as an agent for 35 years. During that early part of it, I guess it's in the late 70s, late 60s, maybe early 70s, that I had the good fortune of meeting a fellow named Larry Wilson Learning Corporation, Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Larry was a very interesting fellow. He was a school teacher, but he had a bad habit of spending 1.25 times income. And he had to find something else to do. He got in the life insurance business, did extremely well, but it bugged him. He couldn't explain why was he good. And although by the way, he set all kind of records of sales at the very beginning. Well, although he had 4 kids at the time, he says, I'm going to take a whole year out and just find out why am I good. He had 4 children at the time. Now, when you start searching, the answers appear as if by magic. Seeking you shall find in the Bible is absolutely true. In the process, though, you'll run into people that were looking for you more than you were looking for them. And so he ran across the path of Bank of America, who was looking for somebody to put together a sales training package for their bank. And that's how Counselor Selling was born.
Fascinating.
He did extremely well with it. It was a 40-hour block of instruction designed to be put on 4 hours at a time over a 10-week period. Anyway, he had this bicycle analogy. Chad, he said, a bicycle's got 2 wheels. The back wheel is power, locomotion, i.e. product knowledge in a business, we'll say. Yeah, but it's got a front wheel too. The front wheel determines where you're going to go with it. This is a front wheel course. He says, I'm not what you call smart.
Right.
I'm what you call street smart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a result of his experience there, he said, I bet the life insurance business would like this. He calls on Equitable Life of New York, which was the third largest life insurance company at that time. And that's who I was an agent with. And
This was in the 1960s.
yeah, late 60s or maybe even early 70s, but somewhere along in there.
Oh.
Anyway, so he called on the home office of Equitable in New York, made his presentation, struck out.
Struck out. Why do you think it was?
They weren't interesting. Somebody was kind. As he was leaving the room, somebody caught him by the elbow and said, son, if you wanted to sell this idea, you came to the wrong place. You go to Birmingham, Alabama. See J.B. Conway, the agency manager down there. If J.B. likes it, you're in like Flynn because people listen to J.B. All right. Now, J.B. just loved that sort of stuff. He was one of the best red men I've ever run into in my life. Anyway, and he liked this kind of thing big time. So Larry made his presentation to our agency with J.B. there. And so J.B. says, okay, Nelson and my sidekick at that time, Lamar Phillips, he was 10 years older and he'd been dead quite a while now. He said, I want you guys to teach this to the agency every year.
Wow.
All right. Now,
they weren't teaching the banking concept.
Oh, no.
Okay,
just counsel selling.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, counsel selling. The people knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
It's a people knowledge course.
Right.
All right. Anyway, Lamar and I liked it so much, we would teach it every fall to the general public. And we wouldn't let but two people from any one occupation in the room. People have tunnel vision, Chad. They'll see something like counselor selling or most anything out there. So that applies to everybody else. My business is different. My business is different, yeah. Well, we always had two doctors in every class for years. And by the way, we scheduled the course in the fall of the year on Monday night to deliberately conflict with Monday Night Football.
Oh.
If anybody wasn't willing to give up Monday Night Football, we didn't want him in the room.
Because they're not willing to educate themselves.
Yeah. You got to get your priorities straight. Yeah. And if they're hooked on football in preference of this, we don't be talking to them. It's waste effort.
So you started selling life insurance the traditional way, your need for death benefit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I immediately saw, fairly immediately, that something wrong.
Yeah.
That they're forgetting something. This is because of my Austrian background, Austrian economics. If it weren't for Austrian economics, that book would not exist. Okay, so anyway, the doctors, after about the third session or so, every last one of them would say, this should be taught in medical school.
No kidding.
Well, it was fun that we would do these sessions 4 hours at a time over a 10-week period.
Right.
Each lesson needs to digest and be put into practice, so to speak, to get it to be part of you. And so it was always fun that we'd start about 6 o'clock, we'd quit about 10, and we'd usually have a class of about 20 people or so. And so as Lamar and I were going home, we'd kind of chuckle that he was on the street corner down here, a couple of 3 guys still talking. So in another street corner, they couldn't quit it. All right. So as a result of that, I got to be asked to be part of council selling too. And so that was.
Were you successful as a salesman back in the 60s, 70s?
I wasn't supersonic, but we did all right.
Okay.
We put it
And you
that
were
way.
part of the Birmingham.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a Hall of Fame member with Equitable and stuff like that. And I'm not apologetic for what I made, but I wasn't after money at all. I was after getting people's lives reorganized and see what's really the problem out there.
Yeah.
Analyzing what's the problem and showing them how the solution was through this medium. Well, anyway, when I conjured up the infinite banking concept, I saw that you need for finance is much greater than the need for protection. But when I saw that your need for finance is greater and so forth, I said, how in the world am I going to get this across to people? Because just talking to people about life insurance period is difficult. I think I was crazy.
So I know what you're saying when you say your need for finance, but when someone asks you, Nelson, what does that mean? What do you mean when you say our need for finance? Can you explain that a little bit?
Sure, because that's in the book there. I've studied the pattern in which what do they do with the money that's spendable?
They spend it.
Yeah, well, yeah, but what do they spend it on?
Things that they need, things that they want, maybe.
There's a difference between need and want.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how little we need.
You're right.
But we got a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you want something real strongly, you need it.
Yeah. It's right. So are you saying in the book, you're saying our greatest financial need is spending or using money?
It's how you spend the money out there. See, if things weren't this way as I was growing up, well, now you understand, my family does not come from money.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what electricity in a home was until I was in the 4th grade.
Wow.
I didn't know what. No, I'm sorry. That would be the 2nd grade. The 3rd grade would be.
Okay.
I didn't know what indoor plumbing was until I was in the 5th grade. Okay. 4 boys in my family. My next older brother was the first college graduate. He was 3 years older than I. But I'm the only one to work my way through. I paid for it all. Okay. Part-time jobs and so forth. Typical, we were on the quarter system at Georgia when I was going through that instead of semesters that most schools on now.
Right.
Typical number of credits for a BS degree is 186 hours, something like that.
Right.
I had 240. And I also had 5 hours I couldn't get credit for. Of course, I was taking too much that one quarter. And that's with doing part-time jobs at the same time and so forth. All right. So when I put all this together and I decided that people will think I'm crazy, that I just need to continue to sell life insurance and that's it. But that dang burning bush wouldn't go out. How you going to live with yourself, boy? You know this, but how you going to live with yourself and not tell other folks about it?
So this as in your need for finance is your greatest financial need.
That's my contribution to the financial world. That's all. Simple as simple can be. The banking function is in the hands of the wrong people. They have made people slaves. That is the problem out there today. The indebtedness out there today is unbelievable.
In your book, you in one of the first few pages, you started off by saying the process of banking is the most profitable business in the world.
Sure. Sure. Because
explain?
you see,
Yeah.
you got to understand Austrian economics as you go through this, and this should be a continuous experience all the rest of your life.
Right.
Like I say, there's about, I think it's 285 or 385, one of the books on my reading list. They're in categories. There's history, there's economics, there's personal development, and one other category, I've forgotten what that is. But anyway, the biggest section is history. You can't study economics without studying history to see what stupid things people have done. Have you seen what I delivered to the think tank session back in February? It's in 3 parts. My Christian experience is the first. The second article is 2 pages long. It's the most profound 2 pages I've ever read in my life. Paul Rosenberg, an author, wrote this, and the title of it is "Fish Are the Last to Notice the Water." Fish are the last to notice the water.
Wow.
What is water to the fish? An environment in which they live.
Yeah. They
don't notice it. All right, we got the most hostile financial atmosphere out there today of all time, and people don't notice it. They don't notice what's happened to them. Well, once you recognize this and so forth, something wrong. You don't have to participate that way.
That's the problem.
Fish.
The reason people don't get this
Fish. Yes.
is they need to unlearn all the crap that we've
Bingo. Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
And this is the very best way.
It's the only way. This is a place that cannot inflate the money supply. Look what happened in 1913 and so forth. Look what happened, what they did to the dollar. Well, what this did was benefit the privileged few, that's all. And made slaves out of everybody else. But the worst thing it did is it screwed up the minds of the people to the point where they can't think straight. And how do you get through that? Anyway, this concept here appeared almost immediately like that.
To you, through hours of praying in the plane and being in the forest.
And all of a sudden, this big picture, this different picture comes into being. It was real to me. It's good grief, they got it all wrong. They're looking at it backwards.
They're looking at it backwards.
Yeah.
If you solve your need for finance, you will have more death benefit than you've ever.
Yes, and you see what the bankers have done out there is that the debt is unbelievable. Yeah. See, back in my father's generation, a 5-year mortgage was it. Mm-hmm. Now look, when I bought my first automobile out of college, it was a 4-year-old Buick, and it required 1/3 down, and only 18 months to pay for it. So. Well, what they got nowadays? You can buy a John Deere zero-turn mower in 7 years to pay for it, and you don't have to pay a thing the first year. Unbelievable. They get people hooked, and they just go from one to the other, and they oversport themselves every time, and so they end up with humongous debts. To be conscious of it, all you have to do is just listen to a few commercials out there. What's offered out there to remedy that mess you got yourself into.
Yes.
And what it amounts to is you getting into a bigger mess.
So, Nelson, can we go through? I have a couple questions about your book.
Sure.
And for the people that watch this, I think it'd be best for them to hear it from your mouth rather than mine.
What's the question?
The first question is, you talk about the importance of imagination.
Yeah.
There's a reason you start this book off very quickly with that concept. Can you go into? Well,
the most important part of the book is those human qualities there, because you see that's right there with the teachings of Larry Wilson, people knowledge. The imagination is extremely important. Just think of Disney, for instance. You got to visualize something first before it happens. There's little think of it and so forth. They suddenly appear as time goes by. But imagination is extremely important. That's why I started with it.
I think this makes or breaks a person.
What, imagination?
Yeah.
Sure.
Their ability to.
No question.
You open this chapter with an Albert Einstein quote that says, "Imagination is more important than knowledge."
Knowledge, our ability, yeah.
This idea of the banking concept came because you were in a tight situation.
I was listening to the world, and I did stupid things out there of listening to them.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the most tragic things is to pull off something successful. And you think, but by God, that's the way to do things.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it always ends up bad. We put it that way.
You talk about the problem in your book, and it's about the amount of debt that people have in their life, and that really what I got out of this chapter is changing the tailwind or
Sure.
the headwind to tailwind.
Sure.
Can
Yes.
you kind of go into the problem that our America is facing and how they can use this concept to change their life?
Well, it's going to take their imagination, and that's why when I put this concept together, I was trying to get it done in seminars of 2.5 hours at a time, and it was going over the heads of people, and so I got kind of tired of that.
Yeah.
And it finally dawned on me about my experience with Larry Wilson, and so I rewrote the course and designed to be put on 2 hours at a time over a 5-week period. And then I got me a test group of 18 people because that was the size of the classroom, was the size of the conference rooms. And I had males, females. I had all kind of occupations. I had one person that was 25 and one that was 75. And I wouldn't let but one life insurance person in the room. I didn't want to contaminate it. Anyway, into the first 2 hours, starting at 6 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. And at 8 o'clock, we wound up, and 60% of them hung around and was asking me questions. And I told them to go home. It's over. I'll be here at 6 o'clock next Thursday night. I'll see you then. Now, I deliberately did not call a single one to see what would happen. Now, usually you got to call people and remind them and so forth. You see, when I was doing the 2.5 hours scenario, you get about 40 people out there that might be prospects with this sort of thing, and you got down to 20 that said that they'd be there. All right, now you call them at 4 o'clock in the afternoon to remind them to be there, and they all assure you they're going to be there. But somehow something happens between 4 and 6, and several times no one showed up. Well, that's kind of discouraging. All right, so I deliberately didn't call anybody for the next week. Well, 20 people showed up. Wasn't the same 18, but it was 2 more than what there was before. We had to get in a couple more chairs for the room.
Wow.
All right, by the time we got to the third session, they were saying, you ought to write a book. Now, you know who Paul Harvey was?
I know him because you've talked about him, but I don't know him personally.
Yeah. He had this program on the radio that he'd tell you something that you just probably never knew or thought about at all. And now you know the rest of the story.
Yeah.
So that's how the book came to be written.
Can you explain why the banking system is best and really can only be done through dividend-paying whole life insurance?
Nothing else is out there like that. See, again, imagination and what people's background might bring to the table. One pretty good practitioner of this sort of stuff is Jim Kindred in southwest Utah. After several exposures to this, he says, this is just like a trust, isn't it? A trust has a guarantor, a trust has a grantor.
Yep.
It has a trustee and it has a beneficiary. Now, the trust did not exist until the grantor created it.
Yep.
Out of nothing, they created the trust. An idea, a thought. Now, the grantor puts property into the trust. It becomes the property of the trustee. It's his. It's no longer the property of the grantor. Now, the trustee has to put that property to work to carry out the provisions of the trust. After all, we did create it for a reason. Right? All right. Now, so he puts it to work in several places. One of the places he could put the property to work is with the grantor. They're two different people.
Right.
Two different entities.
Mm-hmm.
Now, income comes in from maybe doing business with the grantor or with other things out there. Well, who's it go to? Trustee? It's his. Jim said, have you ever heard anybody say, look how much that trustee is making? Not on your life. What do they say accurately? Look how good that trustee is doing for the benefit of those other two parties. And if that weren't true, no one would ever create a trust.
Correct.
Well, do you understand the characters now?
Mm-hmm.
You buy a policy, you are the grantor. The insurance company is your trustee, your gopher.
Yep.
Your hired help.
Yep.
And you got a beneficiary. Well, they got to put the money to work. Well, who is that? Who outranks everybody in access to what is put to work? You? Well, as those cash pay. See, we have no policy loan. No. Now, my wife's got one policy that's got a policy loan in it, but that's going to be cured in not too distant future because the chances of mine not being here a year from now is good. Is big.
Really?
I've outlived everybody in my family for 4 years, and everybody goes like that. 3 brothers and mom and dad, nobody lingered at all. Yeah.
And the reason why you pay back all the loans is so that the death benefit.
Okay. I have the perfect estate plan. I don't own a thing.
So,
My wife and I own that car. I said jointly, no. My wife and I own the house jointly, but other than that, I don't own a thing.
all in life insurance.
There's nothing to probate.
Yeah.
All right. Now she owns 1.8 million on me. All my children own insurance on me.
On you.
Yeah. We have 10 grandchildren. Every time a grandchild was born, I'd crank up $2,000 premium on the kid. The parent would crank up the same thing. So every grandchild has $4,000 from birth. All right. When they got to be 22, I quit paying on them because page 71 through 74, different look at the money. Yeah. Intergenerational planning, right there, right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look at the illustration, 22 years and no more pay. They use dividends to pay the premium, surplus left over, bought additional payment for insurance. Now, you created that vehicle there. Well, if a kid by age 22 hadn't caught on that, look,
Yeah.
you need to make this thing. Well, guess what happens? My word.
Yeah.
If they do what I say, they'll never see a bank in their life. But, we always run the risk of what is the world taught them.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
So all your kids own
but
life
you
insurance on
see,
you.
yes,
So and they've been able to use the cash value throughout your life.
we have a touch within Dave's family. They have 4 kids, and they're all married. They have 6 grandchildren now. Well, we have a total of 8 greats. They've got 6 of them.
Yeah.
Money hasn't left our community in over 30 years.
Meaning you've done all the banking within your family.
No car financing, no mortgages, no nothing. Yeah.
Wow.
They bought me 5 airplanes down through the years.
Through this concept.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the banking scenario the system that your kids have been using, when you pass away, their life insurance that they own on you, they're going to get the death benefit.
Sure, tax-free. Coupled with the fact, I told you Mary has 1.8 million on me. Now, my youngest brother died 3 years ago. He lived in North Carolina, died at age 80. He made the same mistake so many clients of mine had made. They never taught their wives how to be a widow. Well, losing a partner is bad. It's, emotionally, it's a difficult time. But when you got a whole bunch of other stuff out there to contend with, that's compounding the problem.
Yeah.
Well, when I saw all the mess, I will say that Fred left Ann, on my way back from North Carolina, Mary and I said to Mary, when you get home, I'm going to start teaching you how to be a widow.
So how, just practically, what is your wife going to do with $1.8 million?
Well, I'm getting there.
Okay.
But I got to build a foundation. You can't just talk about numbers. So
Yeah, no, okay.
first thing you got to go to is we got to learn, how to stand before you walk, before you run, before you become a Roger Bannister. Run to a 4-minute mile. Then everybody started running 4-minute miles. But, there was a barrier out there up to the time he did it. Nobody could run for more than a 4-minute mile. Right. But then everybody could after that. That's all I did. Anyway, who put the barrier there? Yeah. All right. So I said, I'm going to give you a checkbook when I get home. And you got to pay for everything out of that checkbook. I'm going to give you a certain amount of money, and you got to live off that. Now, we go buy groceries and so forth. I'll pay half of it. You got to pay the other half. When it comes to property taxes and stuff like that, you got to pay it all. Well, the routine bills and so forth, she got that down cold. Well, now, the first 3 months, it was tough. She kept asking me from time to time, what do I do about so-and-so? Mary, I'm not here. Oh, yes, you are. Mary, I am not here. Get that through your head. I'm not here. Well, another 3 months, she's done pretty good, but still, she's not a numbers person. What in the name of heaven is she going to do with that? And so in the next process, got all the policies that she owns on me in the 4 small policies that I own that she's a beneficiary. And added them all up, and it was 1.8 million. Now, I said, you got a policy loan on policy that you own that we used to buy this little house. It's about $300,000. So out of that 1.8, just take 3 and pay that off. The other 1.5 leave on deposit with the insurance company. Settlement options. There's a 10-year certain. Life, pay for life, or 10 years certain. You know what that means? All right. There's life.
It's like at a 10-year annuity.
Yeah. No, it's going to be for life, but 10 years certain. If you live past that, it's still going to come.
Right.
Yeah, that's your biggest income.
What if she dies within the 10 years?
It would go on to somebody for 10 years. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Now there's a 20-year certain. Well, that's less income, but it's going to go to somebody in the family for 20 years before it ceases. Well, that's using up resources, isn't it? Why do you want to build up a resource and destroy it? That doesn't make sense.
Right.
Fine. Now, like I say, $300,000 of that pays off the policy loan on her, so there's no debts of any kind out there.
So then she's going to live off the interest of the principal. And then what's going to happen to the principal when
Well, that's just it. You see, $137,000 a year coming in. Do you realize with just her, what kind of tax problem is going to be there? Off that $45,000 coming from interest alone on $1.5 million, you just kid 1/3 of it goodbye, right?
Right.
Well, is she going to die?
Yep.
She's 3 years younger than me, but she's 84 now. Name might be the longest she lived. Her mother died at 94. Whatever. Father died much earlier than that, so forth. But that just didn't make sense at all once I thought that through. That it's going to all end up in the 3 kids' hands anyway. Well, you got a whole lot of paperwork and stuff to mess with. It's just things that you don't want to mess with.
Right.
Really. So I'm having the 3 kids in a meeting at our house, well, at Kim and Dave's house on Saturday. And we're going through all of it. I've got mapped out and the thought process that I went through to arrive at this. So that it makes sense that, no, Mary, Kim's the youngest. She's the closest here. The others live Anniston and Knoxville, Tennessee. Obviously, Kim should be the captain of and the admin person for whatever to just ease, make things simple for Mary. The simpler the better.
Right.
I burdened her with a lot of numbers and such. She don't need that.
Right.
All right. So I said, Kim, apply for all the insurance. Take $500 to each of the 3 kids. Now, that's big tax free to them.
Okay, wait, say that again. So
$500,000 each to the 3 kids.
And you're going to give that to them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's going to give it to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I won't be here.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. What's left over goes toward the policy loan on her and so forth.
Yeah.
Now, if we went with that original thought of leaving it on deposit there, then the government taking away $15,000 a year don't make sense.
So are all your kids going to buy policies then? Your 3 kids, are they going to buy more life insurance with that?
Some of them got to if it got any sense at all.
And then are
Because
they,
you got to have a place to put it.
and is your wife going to then take income from your 3 kids?
Essentially, yeah.
Policy.
That's about the side. No. Well, ideally, that would probably be the good case. Yeah.
And then they would use the $500,000 to pay back policy loans, or
You got the hang of it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
As
brilliant.
time goes by, you see these things will evolve.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, one of the incomes that I had in this initial projection was royalties off of the books that Dave's been owning the business for a number of years. And just been paying me a royalty.
Thank you for this.
And so I said we could pretty well count on $12,000 a year from that source.
Mm.
Well, so I saw Dave yesterday, and I says, "Look, I've been paying premiums on." I've been paying premiums on your 6 grandchildren. Your 6 grandchildren, my grandchildren. Well, 2 times 6, 2,000 times 6. I'm just with. I said, well, under the projection here, you'd be paying Mary 12,000. She'd be taking 12,000, paying them. Well, that don't make sense.
Mhm.
Just don't pay Mary anymore. Don't pay me anymore.
Yeah.
Just simplify. Well, that dawned on me during the night here a couple of nights ago.
Yeah.
So, you see, all this stuff is a work in progress.
Yeah. And it goes back to how we think. How we think.
Thank you. How you think is it.
If you're a high earning professional, entrepreneur, or someone who wants more control over your money, we offer something called a clarity call. It's a one-on-one conversation where we learn more about your situation and walk you through how integrating whole life insurance could help better your financial situation. It's no pressure or fluff, just real clarity on whether this strategy is right for you. Click the link in the description or tag comment below and we'll walk you through exactly how we can help you.